Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. So there was a bit of excitement yesterday. Bitcoin rallied a little bit, not too much. Here I have it on the hourly. We saw a Bitcoin go up to about 9,300, now trading back down to 91.94. So what that tells us essentially, there isn't enough momentum to really get a Bitcoin up past that 10,005 mark, nor is there enough selling pressure to get it below this significant level of resistance. So we are still trading sideways, guys. XRP mimicking that same sentiment, not too much movement in the space, low volume. VeChain's always a mystery to me. We saw this big pump for VeChain, and then it was also trading sideways for a while, and then some significant movement for VeChain yesterday. VeChain, I'm so mystified by this particular cryptocurrency. We saw about a 13% increase in VeChain yesterday, now trading at about 0.0091, so just shy of 1 cent. That is VeChain on the hourly. Going to keep an eye on the market, going to see if any new developments take shape. But in the meantime, guys, Boomer and Gen X, they have now taken interest in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies since this pandemic. So the older generations have increased their monthly Bitcoin investments by a factor of 9 on UK crypto trading app Mode since the beginning of the pandemic and lockdowns. Mode Banking reported that baby boomers born between 1946 and 1964 and Gen X born between 1965 and 1980, those investors are investing significantly larger portions of their wealth into Bitcoin since the start of the beer flu pandemic. Using February as a baseline, the findings show that investments from these generations increased 2.24x in March and 4.49x in April, and 8.88x in May. So ultimately doubled each month, doubled from 2.2 to 4.4, and then by the next month, 8.8, give or take. So that number to me is shocking, especially when looking at these generations who aren't traditionally interested in something like cryptocurrency. Now they're starting to look for other ways to invest their money, something that might not necessarily be so contingent on the rest of the economy. So, however, the report does not cite any dollar values on these relative amounts invested, so it's difficult to determine how significant the data is. But the Mode Chief Product Officer, Janice Legler, stated, "We believe these to be very interesting findings, and although the reason for this could be manifold, they could potentially reveal an unprecedented change in the way investors think today as a result of the global pandemic." So millennials also double their investment each month. We have some stats to that effect. We expect millennials to continue buying into cryptocurrencies, but see more experienced investors also become increasingly interested in Bitcoin. That is extremely promised for the growth of the industry. Boomers and Gen Xers will move to own massive amounts of Bitcoin and control exponentially more of the asset than millennials, when it should be the other way around. Well, yeah, millennials had more time because they have realized that this asset class has existed for a long time. I'm sure a lot of you guys, perhaps millennials, have been accumulating over this period of time. I myself am technically a millennial, I suppose, a very, very old millennial. I do tend to straddle that border between Gen X and millennial. So, interesting findings. The fact that the number actually doubled each month for these generations, 2.2 to 4.4 roughly, to 8.8 in May, does show a significant increase in cryptocurrency interest. That to me is an interesting statistic. We'll keep an eye on that. This next one here from Michael at Val5Links on Twitter: Bitcoin could be vulnerable to double spending, said new research. So, I don't know if you guys heard about this. A standard way to transact Bitcoin could be vulnerable to double spending, new research has found. Blockchain sleuths at Zengo, a wallet startup, have found a vulnerability that affected at least 3 major crypto wallets: Ledger Live, Edge, and the Bread wallet, BRD, and potentially more. So the bug, which the Tel Aviv-based firm called Big Spender, allows a hacker to double spend a user's funds and possibly prevent them from ever using their wallet ever again. It works by exploiting a flaw in Bitcoin's replaced by fee function, a fail-safe that enables users to swap an unconfirmed transaction with one that has a higher fee. Big spend can lead to substantial financial losses, and in some cases, to make the victim's wallets totally unusable and no way for the victim to protect themselves, Zengo CEO Uriel Oayan said in an email. So this can be seen as a high-severity attack. So Bitcoin, archaic technology. There is a double spend bug that obviously these hackers are exploiting. with their code Big Spender to be able to double spend your Bitcoin. Not only that, it may render your wallet useless. This is just for Bitcoin, by the way, guys. This isn't for other cryptocurrencies. This is just for Bitcoin. So something to think about with regards to your Bitcoin if you do hold Bitcoin. Yet, we have guys like this, Anthony Pompliano, still saying that, he holds Bitcoin, he's a Bitcoin bull, and doesn't understand why anyone would invest in XRP. So here's the next story here. Ripple's success could leave XRP in the dust, according to Bitcoin bull Anthony Pompliano. Now, we know he's a Bitcoin bull. We know he's got his opinions. We know he's had Brad Garlinghouse on his own podcast. But the Morgan Creek digital co-founder and Bitcoin bull Anthony Pompliano says he believes that Ripple's success won't necessarily boost the value of XRP. He said on a new episode of his own podcast that he's a fan of Ripple as a payments company, but not as interested in the crypto asset XRP. Here's a quote. "I think that XRP as a part of the Ripple product, meaning they use it inside the product. I understand why they do that. I see the advantages inside the Ripple ecosystem. What I don't understand, and I think where I choose to not engage on the XRP side, is I don't understand why people are buying it, speculating on future price movement. To me, if Ripple is successful, that doesn't mean XRP has to be successful," he says. If you separate XRP and Ripple, Ripple as a software company that wants to build better software for banks, it's a no-brainer, it makes sense, venture capital bet. I'm jealous I didn't invest in Ripple in the seed round. So here's his philosophy. He should have invested in Ripple, doesn't understand why people would use XRP, and there could be an argument for that. If Ripple is making their technology interoperable and cryptocurrency regulatory clarity cannot see eye to eye from country to country, then maybe we will see some more challenges for XRP and, even broader cryptocurrency adoption, which I think is an even bigger issue in my opinion. But the fact of the matter is Ripple has been working closely with these governments, closely with FIs, closely with banks. They got them hooked on the product that didn't use XRP, and now they're slowly moving XRP into their lives like a harder drug. Get them hooked on the gateway drug, then move the goods into their lives. The one thing Anthony Pompliano does fail to see here is that XRP does source for liquidity, which is a big, big, big problem around the world for these smaller companies to be able to perform these cross-border transactions. And I'll tell you why. The tier 1 banks are at the helm and the smaller banks are at the mercy of the tier 1 banks. So being able to source that liquidity, especially when XRP is at that higher price, these other companies, these big guys in the space, they will then be able to target those high value payments by using XRP as that transmitter to source that liquidity. So there are a lot of things that Anthony Pompliano doesn't understand. And yeah, Ripple could just continue on as a software company, be the status quo, and not use XRP. That is 100% true. But the fact of the matter is, they have so much invested in XRP, and the one thing Anthony Pompliano doesn't actually explain here, or might not even realize, is the fact that in order for Ripple to actually grow as a company, they need more XRP utility in that ecosystem, because if they want to move out into the verticals that Brad Garlinghouse has already told us they want to do, to be the Amazon of finance, they need more utility in the XRP ecosystem, and this is why they're investing so much time and resource into initiatives like Spring, okay, getting people to develop on the XRP. They would not dump millions and millions of dollars helping these startups unless they had a vested interest in XRP. So Anthony Pompliano clearly knows what he knows, but I don't think he knows what he doesn't know. He goes on to say that he thinks Bitcoin is the only technology in a world that has the addressable market of just about everyone on Earth. He also expects a major shift to happen as people begin to understand Bitcoin's true potential as a store of value asset. Like this is so basic in comparison to what Ripple and XRP are actually striving to do in the real world of finance, Anthony. Not just your ideological bubble of people, being able to transact with a cryptocurrency that was supposed to thwart the banks. The banks aren't going anywhere anytime soon. Cryptocurrency, blockchain technology, that is where the money's at, and Ripple is capitalizing on that. And not only that, their vested interest in XRP will make that particular cryptocurrency valuable down the road. So continuing with this theme a little bit, Mac Attack XRP pointed this out. So this is, again, with regards to Anthony Pompliano's podcast. So we got to remember he was on there with Michael Arrington and spoke to Arrington, XRP Capital founder, about Bitcoin and XRP. During the talk, Michael Arrington shared his love for XRP and that he collaborated with Brad Garlinghouse in the past. And then Anthony Pompliano obviously said his piece about XRP not understanding why it could be life-changing. During their conversation, Mr. Arrington shared a story of how he got involved in the crypto industry and earning substantial returns on a couple of ICO investments back in 2017, which he was introduced to by his girlfriend. He later discovered Ripple to be the best crypto company of the time and arranged a meeting with Brad Garlinghouse, and that's when he added XRP into his own crypto fund. So we've got another side to this. Okay, Michael Arrington obviously seeing the benefits in XRP, setting up a meeting with Brad Garlinghouse and incorporating XRP into his fund. So another side of this that this article didn't discuss, obviously, there's more to it than meets the eye, and I do seriously think Anthony Pompliano should do a little bit more research. I think it is self-serving in a lot of ways for him to, pump Bitcoin, the narrative there, but just irresponsible to not even take a look at XRP and what the possibilities are. I saw this, guys. This from XRP Crypto Wolf. Ripple partnered with Currency Cloud to process cross-border payments on RippleNet. This just came out a couple of hours ago. RippleNet, Ripple's global financial payments network, makes it easy for its diverse network of financial institutions worldwide to enable faster, lower-cost payments around the world. Globalization is an opportunity for businesses of all sizes around the world, but traditional banking continues to favor larger corporations. The partnership with Ripple will allow Currency Cloud to explore new mechanisms for moving money efficiently around the world, especially where regulations and limitations restrict opportunities for SMEs. It is expected that Currency Cloud will focus on territories where smaller businesses are underrepresented, ensuring clients will be able to process local payouts and collections in these increasingly important countries. So another big partnership there, Ripple and Currency Cloud making waves in the payment space. Guys, I'm going to continue on here. Brazil. So we heard about this story with Brazil. Now they're easing up on their WhatsApp ban, apparently, but it is still suspended. So the payments feature of the popular messaging platform WhatsApp remains suspended in Brazil despite local regulators easing restrictions placed on its owner Facebook. On June 24th, there was obviously that suspension of WhatsApp by the Brazilian government, and then they reversed their decision. However, WhatsApp payments remain suspended. So there still is concern in Brazil. Everybody was getting excited about, payments in Brazil through WhatsApp, and then they squashed that excitement by saying, nope, we're banning this. So the saga continues. Obviously, they still need to sort some things out there. And guys, in VeChain news, we got this. That's right, this from the Cryptic Poet. VeChain recognized by early metrics as one of the most valuable startups. So, VeChain, guys, as you know, very, very interesting cryptocurrency, and their use case doesn't really rely on the economy doing well. Well, I mean, I guess it kind of does, but doesn't necessarily focus on payments specifically. Instead, the VeChain project revolves around supply chain. So VeChain states in a new article that Early Metrics, a world-renowned rating agency for startups and innovative SMEs, has recognized VeChain as one of the fastest growing startups. Early Metrics looks at the development and growth logic, market positioning, technical professionalism, and operational implementation of all set objectives. And despite the pandemic, guys, VeChain has been able to advance the development of its proprietary technology for some applications such as cert. The beer flu even acted as a catalyst and supporter for the acceptance of the app. VeChain has introduced the app in cooperation with iDante, which enables the storage and management of test results for beer flu rapid testing. Another important partnership for the VeChain Foundation was the cooperation with Sarah Regensberger at the end of February to track products along the value chain. VeChain has also partnered with one of the world's largest natural gas producers, Shanghai Gas, to build an energy-as-a-service ecosystem. So VeChain getting into a different part of the world supply chain, partnering with all kinds of different companies that don't necessarily even have a common theme like you see with Ripple and finance. Just going to go down here. In the area of research and development, one of the most important updates was the VeChain Thor mainnet code update Entropy version 1.3.0. The foundation describes this upgrade as the most important since the introduction of the mainnet, as the improved redesign has resulted in many improvements in performance and efficiency. So VeChain doing a lot of interesting things in the space with regards to supply chain, tracking items, tracking goods, tracking food in some cases, preventing counterfeiting. That is another thing that's on their radar. So another interesting cryptocurrency project to keep an eye on, guys. Still haven't gotten into my VeChain position. Still waiting for when it dips a little further. We also got this, guys, from XRP Crypto Wolf. US firms have the most amount of blockchain patents. So we talked about blockchain patents the other day and how blockchain patents have essentially been on the rise for the last year or so. Now Alibaba leads the blockchain patent race. Data shows that China's e-commerce giant leads the way in awarding blockchain patents, with Chinese and US firms aggressively filing to stake out protection of their IP. So it's a race. China and the United States going head-to-head for blockchain patents. A new report from the China Patent Protection Association shows that Chinese multinational Alibaba leads the world in patents awarded for blockchain-related technology. According to the 2020 Blockchain Global Patent Authorization Report, there are 3,924 awarded patents for blockchain tech to date. U.S. firms account for the lion's share of award patents with 39%, Korea at 21%, while China comes in third at 19%. But Alibaba leads the field in individual firms with the most patents, with 212 awarded blockchain patents, while IBM has 136. South Korea's Coinplug comes in third with 107, and China's other web giant Tencent with 42. In 2020, a record-breaking year for blockchain patents, as I had reported a couple of days ago. So it's interesting to see, right? The race is on. The United States versus China with regards to getting to the top. So the companies, the private sector, is really realizing that blockchain technology will be at the forefront of this new revolution. The government just needs to get on board. This is what we're still waiting for regulatory clarity in the space. U.S. government still dragging their heels, in my opinion. And could Sbi Holdings become one of the biggest non-cryptocurrency companies to get into cryptocurrency? Guys, I finally saw this from XRP Tony Stark here on Twitter. Ripple partner Sbi Holdings, now a giant in the crypto industry. So, with regards to this article here, Ripple has been one of the most prominent and popular entities in cryptocurrency and the blockchain industry for a while. However, while it has managed to acquire and pocket numerous banks and exchanges to push its services, its biggest deal has been with Japan's Sbi Holdings. Now, Sbi Holdings is the largest known shareholder of Ripple, and ever since Ripple joined hands with Sbi, its growth in Asia has been exponential. Ripple needed the support of the large financial service provider to integrate its services, especially from a promotional point of view. So we have seen this relationship from the beginning. Ripple and Sbi, quite a symbiotic relationship to help grow the ecosystem concurrently within cryptocurrency and within Japan. And with Sbi as its cheerleader, Ripple has managed to partner with other exchanges and banks in Asia as well, who have also become part of RippleNet. Apart from connecting Ripple with other service providers, Sbi has been also pushing the MoneyTap settlement network, the implementation of RippleNet software that does not use XRP. So using the Ripple connection to onboard as many people as possible, whether they use XRP or not, I think was the first step for Sbi. Apart from being in a symbiotic relationship with Ripple, Sbi Holdings shared in its March report news of it planning to occupy 50% of RippleNet, meaning Sbi might soon be transacting 50% of the volume, according to analysts. So guys, that is big news. Just going to go down here further. There have been speculators of the Ripple corridor between the two countries, despite there being no official announcement yet. So if the corridor is present, they're talking about Vietnam here because I skipped that, it might be put into great use, as it has been the most active corridor for Sbi. It gives some stats here, some of the companies that Sbi Holdings has partnered with and included in the RippleNet integration. This could be a beneficial partnership for Ripple, especially since today Sbi is more than just a financial service provider. It is a financial giant of the traditional market that has successfully waded into the waters of the cryptocurrency industry. So Sbi Holdings, let's take a look at them for a second. A very, very big company based in Tokyo, Japan. As we all know, the group's businesses and companies are held primarily as Sbi Holdings. And guys, their operating income, 337 billion yen as of 2018. A large company wading into the space. And you got to understand, this wasn't a cryptocurrency company to begin with. But what AMB Crypto is suggesting is that they could become the biggest non-cryptocurrency company to get into crypto. We know recently we've seen this statistic here: Coinbase, Binance, and Kraken lead in blockchain and merger acquisition deals. So we saw this the other day. Coinbase Binance, Kraken, Consensus, and Ripple, number 5 on the list there, because mergers and acquisitions are what's really going to make these companies thrive throughout this next decade. Here we do have some of the largest mergers and acquisitions in crypto history. So the Binance CoinMarketCap deal, a whopping $400 million. Circle and Poloniex, the same amount. NXMH and Bitstamp, also $400 million. We got a few others here, the BK Global Consortium and Bithumb, Lightyear and Chain, Tron and BitTorrent, Coinbase and Earn, and Kraken and Crypto Facilities round this up. But a lot of this took place in 2018. Now we're starting to see other companies like Binance really step up their game, okay, trying to merge with these other companies. And so could Ripple and SBI be that next step for Ripple to really kind of gain momentum in the space? We saw Ripple here and they were only number 5, which I mean isn't half bad to say the least. But if they have SBI Holdings now getting into the space, slowly becoming the number 1 non-cryptocurrency company to get into crypto and blockchain, where will that ultimately take Ripple's numbers, and how will that affect XRP price down the road? I have a feeling we will only see positive things for Ripple and XRP, but guys, that's just my opinion. I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.